What's up, everyone? This is David Greenspan, and you are listening to Season 2 of the Mindshare Podcast, a proud member of the Industry Syndicate Media Network. Additional podcasts are available at industrysyndicate.com and mindshare101.com. This week's episode is sponsored by Kits Keep in Touch Systems. This is episode 66. So according to Albert Einstein, the smartest man in the world, or one of, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Now, I don't want to sit here and try to debate whether one of the smartest men in the world is wrong. However, I am going to say that repetition and consistency, aka doing the same thing over and over again, will in fact lead to results rather than insanity. However, these results could be either good or bad. For example, you sneak that candy bar. You may not notice much of a difference in your overall appearance right away. But if you have a goal to get healthier and feel better about yourself, but you consistently snack on that candy bar every day, then although you don't notice it today, tomorrow, or even maybe next week, over the course of time, you will go the opposite direction from your goals. And you will begin to, not feel so good about yourself. Now, opposite of that, take an NHL hockey player, for example. Although some might argue they were born with it. Truth is, did they really know how to skate like that when they were first born? Of course not. In fact, the first time they stepped on the ice, like everyone else, they fell. It was slippery. Their muscles weren't sure what was going on. They didn't have good balance. And that ice, it really hurt when you went down. And I mean, it still does. But over time, they went back out there. And each time, they got better. Now up here in Canada, we are the mecca of hockey for the entire world. And for my American listeners, sorry, it's just the way it is. Go Canada. But we've got more young hockey players per capita than anywhere else in the world. I mean, this means that, we've got a lot of kids who are dreaming of becoming NHL hockey stars. But which ones make it? Well, the answer is easy. The best ones. And how do you become the best? You get out there every single day and you practice. Yes, you will make mistakes, but you learn from them. You get back out there. You just keep doing it while always having that big goal in mind of making the NHL. So what happens to us when we're constantly working at it and we're not seeing the results we want in the time frame that we want? I mean, we all get that, right? We get down on ourselves. We drop off the plan. We change our course. We try something new. We even spend more money. But instead, I want to encourage you. When it's not going your way, do not drop off. Do not change your course. Do not just up and try something new. And do not spend more money. Stay focused on those goals. Remind yourself that consistency is the magic ingredient to achieving everything and anything we want in life. Look, not every day is going to go exactly the way we want it to. But when we've got a plan and we remain consistently dedicated to the process, we achieve. Now, I realize that consistency is very easy to say, but it is very hard to do. And I credit, the squirrel for most of our problems, right? Like I just said squirrel and some of you are looking around, right? But seriously, right? Notifications coming at us every 2 seconds. It causes us to start chasing squirrels. We're in the middle of one thing, then all of a sudden we hear that little noise and boom, our minds go elsewhere. We completely change gears on what we were working on, just so we could see what notifications, were there and who it was and what they're saying. Then we answer the message. And then we try to find our way back to doing whatever it was we were doing in the first place. Finally, we find our way back, and then again, boom, the person on the other end sends a reply and, we're back to chasing the squirrel. And I got to tell you, I mean, realistically, the smartphone, it's the squirrel. Notifications are coming at us every 2 seconds. It causes us to start chasing those squirrels. We're in the middle of that one thing, And then all of a sudden, again, everything changes. And this is why we need to lay out a plan. This is why you need to be dedicated to your process. You see, by having a plan, we're going to be able to manage time better. People around us, they're going to start to believe in us more because they see what we're doing and that we're serious about it. They'll see our passion. They'll trust us more. And they'll also start to see others who are supporting our efforts. And just like, this is what we call social proof, right? And in today's world, social proof is gold for our business. Look, this is about creating a habit. Habits will inevitably lead to us, you, me, needing to apply much less effort in everything we do, both in life and in business. Habits are things we do as part of our everyday without even thinking about it. I mean, it takes very little effort because, well, our subconscious, we just do these things. And by creating a habit, which means we're being consistent about something, we become more successful, which means we overall become happier. And I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that every single one of you and me and us and, all of us, we become happier and we become more successful. So let's together right now, I want to lay out a plan with you right now for how to do this, okay? Here are 4 steps that should be part of your DMO, what we call your daily method of operation. Step number 1, set goals. I know, blah, 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 heard it all before. Yeah, I know. But I heard it so many times in my life as well, and I'm going to tell you. And it always thought like the exact same thing. Until finally, I decided to set my own. I decided to finally commit to being consistent about my process. And then I started to actually achieve my goals. And like, bang, that's when the light bulb went off for me. This stuff works. But you need to follow the process. And there are 3 keys to doing this. You need to set the goal. You need to, let's say in this business, know how many deals you want to do. And you need to have a why. Why do I want to do that many deals? Is it to earn more money? Is it to beat your numbers from last year? Is it to earn an award? Like, why did you set the goal? And again, this comes along with needing to have daily, measurable actions so that we know, again, what it is we're doing. Okay? So, for example, I've gone through this one with you before. If you've been listening to the podcast for a little while, you know this stuff, some of this stuff. You should know this stuff. But and if you don't, you can always go back in time. But I'm going to review them with you right now. It starts by understanding your lifetime goal, right? Ultimately, what do I want in life? Do I, want to drive a nicer car? Do I want to have a bigger house? Do I want to, buy that whatever it is that I want? Maybe it's not all so material. Maybe it's a hell of a lot more about, family and wanting to care for, maybe an aging family member or just be with your loved ones. Having a healthier lifestyle, whatever. What is that lifetime goal you're looking for? What is that thing that when you lay your head down at night and you go, oh man, if I could just have this, what is that? You see, once you understand that lifetime goal, and you know what you're ultimately working towards, that thing that's going to make you happier, feel more successful, more accomplished. Well, once we know that, that's where we start. Because now we take that lifetime and we break it down to annual. And we say to ourselves, what can I get done in the next 365 days that's going to take me closer to that lifetime goal? And listen, let's be really, really realistic about all this stuff. You are not going to achieve it all in 365 days. I mean, maybe, but fat chance, right? The reality is because it's a lifetime goal, it's going to take a hell of a lot longer than 365 days. So what we want to do is we want to now break that down into a smaller 365-day increment and ask ourselves, what can I possibly accomplish in these next 365 days, which is going to get me that much closer to ultimately achieving what I want in life? And so now we've got this realistic picture. We've got a reality of what we can actually get done, and now we simply work towards that. And I mean, that annual from there then breaks down to monthly, right? Because we now take the 365 days, We break it out in 12-month increments, and we now know within these sort of 30, 31-day periods, how much do I need to accomplish? Because I'm not going to get it all done in 1 year. And I'm not going to get it all done in 1 day or 1 week or 1 month. So what do I need to do to get some of it done so that I can get closer to that annual goal? Well, again, breaking it down monthly. What can I get done in the next 30 to 31 days that's going to take me closer? Well, much the same. Once we know what we need to get done this month to take us that much closer to our year, well, now you just break it down to weekly. I mean, this ain't rocket science over here. But now we say, okay, what do I need to do in the next 7 days to get me that much closer to my overall monthly, annual, lifetime goal? Again, breaking it down into this very small, easy to manage process, right? This easy to manage goal setting or whatever. You get what I'm saying here, right? What do I have to get done in 7 days? Now that I know what I have to get done in the next 7 days, well, what's the next breakdown? Yeah, daily. It's that simple. What do I need to do today to win my week? So what action items do I need to do today that are going to take me closer to winning the week? Because if I win the week, I'm closer to winning the month. If I win the month, I'm closer to winning the year. If I win the year, I'm closer to getting my lifetime. And here's my plan. Now I've got it broken down, right? So again, it starts with the lifetime. It breaks down to annual. It breaks down to monthly, then weekly, then daily. And overall, what we do every single day is really just our daily method of operation for what we need to be doing to get to that lifetime goal. Again, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. So that was step one, right? Is setting those goals. And for those of you that don't set goals, guys, I cannot tell you enough. I am you. I was you. I'm not you anymore. I was you. But because I'm no longer you, well, I'm just going to put it out there. Here, listen to my podcast. Ah, what? Yeah, you heard that. Because I am not you, that person who doesn't want to set goals anymore, I now set my goals. I now know what I want to achieve. I know where I want to go. I've got you here, and I thank you. I am grateful for you. And if you're sitting there listening to me right now, you're like, dude, I set my goals all the time, then props to you. You know, fist pump. I love it. Keep it up. Keep doing it. And you know what I'm talking about. So let's get into step 2 here, right? Step 2 is to manage time. You know the squirrel that I just sort of mentioned, that phone that keeps us busier than ever before? You need to lock in and know when it is the right time and when it is the wrong time to look at that. To answer that message or that email or make that phone call or scroll your social media. Everything needs a line item in your schedule. This is another one of those really simple concepts that everybody claims to know, but most don't actually do well because of that damn squirrel. So here's how to do this, okay? Figure out where you track everything. Is it your CRM, something like Google Calendar? Is it a notebook? I mean, again, is it in your phone? Next, tonight, you're going to plan for tomorrow. You see, now we're going to look back at those goals that we set. We're going to determine what those daily action items we need to be doing every day are. And as I said, just simply mark them down in the schedule as a to-do every single day. Then at the end of the day, review that schedule and determine how much you accomplished. Look, this is that dopamine dump just before bed that we get, which reminds us that no matter what happened today, we did good. We accomplished what we set out to do. And this rewards us. This keeps us accountable. It helps us remain consistent. You see, we've limited the distractions because when we're working to a schedule and we stay dedicated to it, we don't have time for anything else. We don't have anything else to do, or we don't have time for anything else we need to do than that task that we're focused on. And again, straight up, this stuff is hard at first, but through consistency, it becomes a habit. Then it turns into success. You see, just like my man The Rock said, Mr. Dwayne Johnson, wake up determined and go to bed satisfied. I love it. So what do we line item in the schedule that's going to keep us on track and help us get it all done? Well, here. in comes the next step. This is step 3. It is a relationship business. So focus every single day on building and maintaining relationships. You see, we know where our business comes from, right? And no, it's not from that expensive ad campaign you're doing. Instead, it's from the value you provide to your client, the results they have, the experience they have, and the social proof that they create for you over time. So what activity should we perform every day as call it a non-negotiable while keeping our time management in mind? Well, every night before you lay your head down, take 15 to 20 minutes to plan your day for tomorrow. Those line items, again, what should they include? Well, let's stick to this thing of relationships, right? It includes calling at least 5 to 10 people from your contact list to say hello. And literally, hello. You will be surprised at how many people actually enjoy hearing from you. Schedule this in, say 10 to 11 a.m., whatever. Whenever it fits into your schedule, schedule it in. Next, we're always looking for the next deal. And for some reason, we believe that spending money on ads is the absolute only answer. Yet the reality is that you can save yourself a ton of time and create much more meaningful connections by actually speaking to people. And I mean, every time I'm out or I'm on stage or at a conference, whatever, there's so many people there. You can network with each other. I mean, here, the last time you were at a conference or the next time you're there, I want you to think about, how many people have you actually engaged with? Have you even spoken to the staff that are there? Anybody? Anybody at maybe the hotel that you're staying at? Think about it. Have a goal to meet somebody new every single day and add them to your database. That becomes 365 new people a year. 365 new opportunities a year. And we know that when you've got a list between, say, 200 and 700 people in this business, you can make a serious living off of referrals alone. Then there's email, okay? And again, relationships, right? Step 3 here. It's now time to answer emails. So maybe this went in your schedule, I don't know, 11:30 to 12:30 that day, whatever. But it's now time to check your inbox. Now it's time. Not every day, not every minute, not whenever it goes off, not when you hear that little bell or whatever, not when you see the squirrel, but in the time that you scheduled it into your schedule. Okay? So you send everything off you need to send, you reply to who you have to reply to, and when done, check it off and move on. Get out of there. Don't waste any more time on that. As long as you got the stuff done you were supposed to get done, why are you still sitting in your inbox? This is not the playground. You don't want to waste time there. That's like scrolling social. And I'll come to that one in a moment. Then there's the admin. Okay? Again, stuff you want to schedule in. This is time to actually get office work done. The little things that come up in a day. That behind the scenes stuff, whatever it is, if it's printing stuff out or sending stuff off or maybe paying some bills or whatever, order new signs, I don't know, right? Meeting with your team. All of these are non-negotiables because, again, of the line of business that we're in, right? The calls, the emails, the meeting people, they all need to have a specific time set aside in your schedule every day for when you're going to get them done. You see, consistently connecting with people, that is what builds your business. It's a fact. Next, we've got social media. Do not check your social media first thing in the morning or even just before bed at night. Do not allow anyone else's world to cloud yours when your mind is just getting started or trying to wind down after a long day. Instead, be intent. Pick a time in your calendar. Hell, you can even pick 2 or 3 times in your calendar. Put anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes aside to do your social. And what does do your social really mean? Well, it means reacting to at least, say, 5 to 10 posts while you scroll your feed. Right? Think about it like 10-10-10, right? You want to take 10 minutes to react to 10 posts, engage with 10 people, right? But you're scrolling your feed, you're reacting, you're commenting on those posts. And while you do that, hey, post some of your own content. Maybe share somebody else's content, but give something around that. Don't just share it. Say something, right? Show that you've read it. Show that you care. Show that it's got value to your audience, right? Send out some friend requests. Connect with people. Once you've accomplished each one of these things in that, say, 15 to 30-minute window, you're done. Mark it off in your calendar. Move on to the next task. But what if somebody responds to your comment, your post, or even that friend request you sent? No problem. Deal with it later. Now is not the time. You've got other things to do. And hey, by the way, if you do want some more ideas on how to connect with people and what to say, seriously, go to mindshare101.com. That's my website. Do it. Well, I was going to say do it right now, but don't do it right now. Keep listening to this podcast. Unless you can multitask, as long as you're not driving. But go there and download your free copy of the 7 Ways to Communicate. In it, I explain the 7 ways for how you should be connecting with people on a consistent basis. In fact, I've got a gift for anybody that gets in touch with me that actually downloads that book. I'm going to send you a few more things right after that. I'm going to keep helping you build more mindshare, okay? So again, go to mindshare101.com, download that free ebook. If you've got questions, get in touch with me, but I'm certainly going to stay in touch with you because I want to help you succeed. I want to help you get to that next place, okay? Now, speaking of books, this brings us to step number 4 for how to be more consistent so that you can achieve everything you want in life. Think about, well, I mentioned conferences, right? And I want you to think about this. I want you to learn something new every single day, right? And I mentioned the conferences back when I made the comment around, meeting people and getting out there and talking to people, right? And thinking about the places you are and where you frequent, where you go. The idea here, though, in step number 4 is what we call self-development. You got to feed that brain, right? Just like when you're hungry, you feed that belly. Same exact thing. You got to feed your brain. Whether you read books or you listen to audiobooks or you watch YouTube videos or you do it all. Find a way to learn something new every single day. Again, you're going to conferences. Go. Not only can you learn, you can meet people and you can learn and you network. This is gold. But think about it. If you just spend 30 minutes a day feeding your brain, just like you feed your belly with food, like I just mentioned, you're going to become more motivated. You're going to become more creative. You are going to become better at your craft. Look, none of us know it all. Like none of us. You can always learn something new from someone else. I love reading. I mean, here, think. Let's do some math here, and I'll do it for you. 30 minutes a day is 14 hours of reading a month, which is 168 hours a year. Now, in fact, I think that's the way the math works here. Let me do this quickly. 24 times 7, boom, that's 168 hours. You got 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week. That's 168 hours right there. So I'm telling you, take 1 week out of your 52 weeks a year and read. Now, I'm an audiobook guy, so to me this is like, when we do this math, like 30 minutes a day, 14 hours reading a month, whatever, right? 168 hours a year. If you kind of take an average of like what audiobooks are, say, I think I broke this down like maybe 6 hours or something, that adds up to 24 books a year, right? That's 2 books a month. I mean, if you could just spend 30 minutes reading today, and seriously, be consistent about it, and you could end up completing 24 books this year. Don't you think that you'd get that much better at everything you do? And keep in mind, I'm not suggesting like you need to stop everything you're doing. I mean, hey, that's the beauty of voice marketing, like podcasts, the Mindshare podcast, and audiobooks, right? Any audiobooks. I love Audible. I go on there, I listen to the books, I can hear the people in my ears talking, I know their voice. I've heard them, either on stage or in a video, and I'm listening to them, and it's just getting into my brain. But it all lets you learn while you're on the go, right? I mean, for me, so much better than reading a paperback book. I love reading, but a paperback book for a guy like me, that's where the squirrels are coming in, right? Because I'm looking at the words, I'm reading the pages, but I'm not even there. My mind is somewhere else. So audiobooks, they let you multitask, right? You could be driving, you could be doing chores around the house, you could be working out, mowing the lawn, whatever. I mean, music is nice, but books are food for the brain. This is where success comes from. It's about the plan. It's about the right habits. It's not about what's trending in this moment, what you're seeing on social media. It's not about following like sheeple. Success is about sticking to what you need to do every single day to achieve what you want in life, to achieve those lifetime goals you set, to be happy. Hey, to get more deals and make more money. So as a quick summary, step 1, set the goals. Step 2, manage time. Step 3, communicate with people. And step 4, feed your brain every day. The richest man in the world, Mr. Bill Gates, and I quote, says, "This is not the kind of thing you can do 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there." Okay? Be consistent. Be consistent about everything you're doing, because this, again, is how we achieve those goals. This is how we deal with the stress of maybe not getting it all done. Not every day is going to be sunshine and lollipops, people. There will be bad days. I promise you there will be bad days. There will be days where we don't get it all done. Guaranteed shit's going to come up. There will be days where we feel like getting nothing done. You know, you wake up and you're just like, forget it, man. I can't do this. And you know what? I'm just having a shitty day. Yo, that is okay. It is normal. We are all human. But the key is to be dedicated to your daily method of operation. Embrace those wins and the losses, and keep your eye on the prize. Remember, this is a long game, so stay focused on your goals and never give up, and always, always be consistent. You're either listening to this on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or Spotify. Or maybe you went to industrysyndicate.com. Maybe you downloaded our free Industry Syndicate podcast app. Or maybe you went to my website, mindshare101.com, which, by the way, don't forget to download that ebook. Wherever you like to consume your content, please rate, review, and subscribe. And if you haven't yet, connect with me on Facebook at Mindshare101 and on Instagram at DavidGreenspan101. This has been another episode of the Mindshare Podcast. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.